I'm Drew Davis, and it is only 358 more days till I turn 50 years old. And my mission this year is to help as many of you as possible chase your God-given dream.
His parents want him out.
He's 35 years old. He still lives at home. That is not normal.
I've lived upstairs since I was 3. It's gonna take a stick of dynamite to get me out of my parents' house.
The movie Failure to Launch stars Matthew McConaughey as a 35-year-old who's still living comfortably at home with his parents. He isn't alone because his best friends are all living the same way. So his parents hire a specialist to help him, and that's where all the fun begins. I've spoken to hundreds of people over the years who felt God calling them to something, but for some reason, very few ever take that next step. And the number one place I see all that falling apart is this concept of failure to launch. The first thing holding you back from your God-given dream comes directly from this movie. We become too comfortable. Remember the good old days where we lived at home with no worries of bills, real responsibilities. As a real adult, stepping out of our comfort zone to chase a dream is just too much of a risk. Think of the Israelites being held in Egypt as slaves. They moaned and prayed for freedom, and after many miracles, they get that freedom. But at the first sign of struggle, they cried out to Moses to go back into slavery, to go back to that they knew. I heard a pastor say, deliverance is God's desire, but man's decision. Our God-given dream is God pouring His desire upon us. But every time there's a little bit of discomfort, we lose God's desire in favor of our own comfort. The second thing holding you back from chasing your God-given dream are the people you call friends. In Matthew 16, Jesus announces to his best friends he's about to go to Jerusalem and be executed. His friend Peter says, "No, I'm not going to let this happen." And for many of us, we think Peter has our back. But in the world of God-given dreams, Jesus says this to his friends: "Get behind me, Satan. You're a stumbling block for me, for you do not have in mind the things of God, but the things of men." For many of us, we're talked out of pursuing our God-given dream because of the friends we keep. The third reason people fail to launch is because they do not feel they have it all figured out. They lack the financial resources. They lack the time. In the story of Abraham was promised he would be the father of a mighty nation at 75 years old. God calls him something big. God calls Abraham to leave everything and go to the land God will show him. What? God, leave this comfortable life I have? What do you think Abraham's friends said to him? Now exactly where is this place you're sending me? Every step there was no map, only faith that God would lead him to the next step. Over the years, I've spent tons of time wondering, what is that next step? But all God needs is our obedience. When we started the Dream Center, I honestly had no clue what was going to happen. That first adoptive block in Little Rock, I only had one person show up to serve with me, and she never came back. It would have been easy to give up. If this really was God, then surely God would have brought an army. But I persevered. I asked what people needed and was told to pick up trash. So we picked up trash. One youth group that came out, they picked up 2.5 tons of trash in a single day. But how was picking up trash really helping anyone? God-given dreams are about something bigger than ourselves. God cares for the hurting. God cares for the hopeless. And most importantly, God cares about you. And if God cares about those people, I've learned that He already has the solution figured out. He's often just waiting for you to step out of your comfort zone. Walk away from those holding you back. Step into the wonder of His plan for your life. So just get started. Look at the people God has put on your heart and start with what you can do, what God's already provided you. I started out alone, picking up trash. And somewhere along the way, when I was faithful in the small, God provided the resources for the next step. Your God-given dream starts when you stand up, walk away from your comfort, and act. I'm here for anyone who wants to do just that. Let's talk. And most importantly, let's chase our God-given dreams together.